Lights, camera, action.
Good evening and welcome to Wednesday night OWCP Chats with Chris and Gini. I'm Chris.
He's always stealing the show now. I don't know what's going on with that.
It's my show.
No, he didn't even want it to begin with. Remember that. He said this was going to be a really... No one's going to watch. And now we have 314,000 people watching in a month.
Okay, let's be honest. I thought nobody in their right mind would watch us talk about workers' comp.
And look at everybody here that needs help.
I just make it that exciting.
If you want my shirt, well, too bad.
Anyways, let's start over. Good evening and welcome to Wednesday night OWCP Chats.
No, then we have to get the cameraman to go click
Take
again.
two.
Take
No,
two.
we're not doing
We
two
were
takes.
doing take 143.
Yeah. Anyways, hey everybody. Or as I'll tell my my sister-in-law Shalini. Hi. All right, go ahead.
His sister-in-law.
What are you showing?
His sister-in-law Shalini, that's panicking about her new job.
It's gonna be okay.
And his sister-in-law Kamini, that's actually reading this book. She purchased it, even though one sister bought it and one sister didn't. So she's actually bought this book. And if you don't know anything about this book, hold on. Wait, there we go. Wait, this way. Get the book. What is it? Not chapter 2. Book 2.
Volume 2.
Volume 2 will be coming out maybe
Mid-October.
October, November. We're going to have a really good sale for Black Friday. Although we will be in Utah for Black Friday, but
so I'm going to bring some
still going to
books.
be sending out books.
My label printer, I'm going to take it all with us because it doesn't take that long to package and send out books, so it's no big deal.
We'll be going to Utah for 2 weeks, so we will have all the books with us. And those of you that haven't got this book yet, get the book.
Where can they find that book?
BreakingOWCP.com. So what, I blanked out what I was going to say. Oh yeah. So I got a text from somebody, from Facebook Messenger, talking about she was so happy she had the book because she flipped to the chapter and showed it to the supervisor on that they have to issue her a CA1 or CA2 because the supervisor said that, no, you don't need it. You just need an incident report.
That's
And
crap, everyone.
That's not what they
Yeah.
needed. They needed a CA1 or whatever, CA2. So she had this handy-dandy black book and showed her. And funny, because the supervisor told her this wasn't a real book.
Okay, so it is a real book. I'm holding it. It's a real book.
Tammy, you're in Daytona?
Oh, I want to be in Daytona.
We missed Daytona. Hi, Alice. All the way from Texas. Ron, Cindy, Jojo. Hello, everybody. So don't forget, before we start our 2 topics tonight, go ahead and share, follow, like, and share.
So you do that by hitting the share button, and as I've said before, it's spelled S-H-A-R-E, and it's right below the video. You just hit it, and other people will see.
JJ said, it looks real. Yeah, the book
I
looks
know.
real to me.
It is.
Like,
real.
there's so much information on OWCP in there, so she just, typed something up and stuck a little binder on there.
So, tonight's topics.
Tonight's topics are...
It's
Oh,
okay. I'm
gee.
just trying to stump her. I'm not really trying to get to that yet. So again, very few people are on right now. Share this. Seriously, all joking aside, go ahead and share this. We're ready to actually get started. Clown time is over, and now it's teaching time. So share, and also like and follow the page so you get notifications every time we go live. And go to my Twitter page at Fed Injury Center. Follow that too, at Fed Injury Center, because a lot of this information is posted there. I used to say I'm not going to waste your time, but not enough of you are on there anyways, and so time wasting is going to start. You're going to start seeing what I eat for dinner, who I picked to win the Notre Dame football game every Saturday.
This guy.
I always pick Notre Dame, just so you know. But I'm going to start putting it there.
The football. No, we're not. This is OWCP, not
All right,
football.
go ahead.
All right, so this week's 2 topics that we're going to discuss is how to use employee statements to get your claims accepted. And like I was telling you right at the beginning, this supervisor told her that's all she needed to do was just submit an employee statement, and
No,
then
an
that's
incident
that.
report.
An incident report, and then that was it. So you make sure you have this employee statement, and the other one is, and you guys always ask, how to get a CA-16 to pay your medical bills, and that's only valid for a CA-1 injury.
All right, so everyone needs to share, and because really, like employee statements, it doesn't sound like it's that big of a deal. But if you saw my sort of intro video that I posted yesterday, it is a big deal. And the CA-16s are a big deal as well, because too many people don't get help because they can't afford it, and they can't get their claim accepted, and their supervisor didn't give it to them. So we're going to talk about that tonight.
So, with that said, yeah, discard. All right, let's see what we got here. So, JJ said, wait, clown time is over?
Well, okay, I live with her. Clown time's never officially over, but for the next hour, we're going to go ahead and just like back it off a little bit.
JJ said you should autograph a copy for her supervisor. The book, that's not real. Yeah.
Well, you know what?
should.
The last chapter in the book is a chapter for supervisors, as will be the last chapter in Volume 2. It'll be a separate chapter for supervisors.
Yeah, Felix, he said hello from Puerto Rico.
Oh,
This
wow,
is
hey.
awesome.
Yeah.
I know you're always posting our stuff, Felix Ray.
Yeah, thank you.
And we just want to say thank you. And the minute we get to put a Federal Injury Centers franchise in Puerto Rico, we're going to be there like 3-4 times a year.
Yeah, Felix, we really hope to see you soon.
Yeah. So, make room for us when we come. Tasha Stewart, I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm sorry. Said, can it help me in disability social security? She is a steward from Memphis.
Yeah, so
Memphis.
give us a Facebook message privately so we want to talk to you. And our phone number is 877-787-OWCP, which is 6927. So definitely give us a call, because yes, we can help you with the disability, but we're also interested in discussing with you our Memphis office, because in Federal Injury Centers we have an office in Memphis, and it's really exciting. We had like right when we opened Federal Injury Centers there, we got a new patient that needed help, and it seems like record time because it's been fast. We already got the claim accepted, which is not a surprise to me, because this is what we do for a living. We get cases accepted, and that's why you're here, by the way, because you want yours accepted if you're hurt now or you're going to be hurt in the future. But that's what happened. And so we're really excited about it. But we'd love to speak with you in Memphis so we can get the word out that we're there, and we're going to get claims accepted.
Her last name is Stewart from Memphis. Okay, so Miss Stewart, so
we still want to talk to you.
Yeah, we still want to talk to you. We have a clinic in Memphis. The doctor's name is Dr. Wooten, and his MD is Dr. Sid. So, if you have any issues or know anybody that's injured in the Memphis area or surrounding area that's willing to drive, go there, because you will be taken care of very well.
Yeah, it's totally worth it. Getting your claim accepted is like way better than denials. And the pain of driving is not as painful as the pain of a denied claim, believe me.
Okay. So, all right. So you guys heard the two topics I'm going to talk about. So let's get started.
Yeah, I want to go with employee statements first. And then we'll get to the questions after I'm done with employee statements.
Okay, it says, hi. Mary Lou said, hi, thank you, Jeannie. I met with Dr. Patron. He is awesome. He is a good doctor.
Good.
Catherine said, I'm going to see Dr. Paulson at Elite Healthcare this week. Thanks for the help.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Is that in Maryland?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, the Weinbergs. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's start with the first topic, guys.
All right, so yesterday I told everyone to go onto my website and get a copy of the employee statement form. You go to www.breakingowcp.com, and there's a tab at the top that says free downloads. You click the free downloads tab, and then you go to the forms. There's 4 forms there. You can have them all. They're all free. But you need this particular form, and there's one for the CA-16 as well. We'll get to in a second. But what I'm doing is trying to help you keep organized, be detailed, and get your claim accepted, even when your doctor doesn't know what they're doing, which is almost always, if you're not with a Federal Injury Centers doctor. Because if you go to one of our offices, it's not that big a deal. It'd be really beautiful if you brought this employee statement in every time, because the doctors can more easily get your claim accepted. But when you're forced to go to a non-federal injury centers doctor, they don't know how to write these claim or these narrative reports, or they don't want to because they're not trained, and it takes a lot of work. The other day, somebody sent me a copy of a narrative by email, and it was one page, which was the first clue that it was bad.
Yikes.
But then it didn't say anything, and so I wasn't trying to be rude, but my email response back was, "That's it," because there was no way it was ever going to be approved in a million years, and because doctors don't know what to do. But here's the deal. A couple of weeks ago, I had this epiphany, and it was that, hey, I'm not in every big city, I'm not in every state yet, and so I can't physically help every federal employee yet, but you can help yourself, because nobody knows better what happened to you than you do, or you do. And so employee statements are a big deal, because like, let's take a CA1 claim that you just got hurt. And by the way, the form I have is especially for CA1s, but it can work for the CA2 as well. You'll see. Just go and download the form and print it. But what happens is you get hurt, and there's a lot of things going on, like you're maybe even a little panicked. Maybe it was in a car accident, and so you're badly hurt. I don't know. But while it's fresh on your mind, the soonest possible time you can, you need to get this form and fill it out, because it helps you put the information that would be needed to get your claim accepted. What's going to happen is you're going to fill out a CA1 form in the event that it was a single shift injury. And it's going to ask you with a small box, I think box 13 or 14, what happened. There's no way you can put everything in there. Most people say bent over to lift a box and felt a pop in my back. Well, you're going to get denied. That's not nearly good enough. Somebody's going to say stepped out of my LLV and twisted my ankle. Denied. It's not enough. But when you fill out the employee statement form, you start getting all this information that leads to approvals, because here's why. You can take it to your doctor along with copies of your CA1 or CA2 and say, "Hey doc, here's what happened to me. Here's my statement." And the doctor can use your statement to write his or her narrative. And this is a beautiful thing, because now you actually have all the detail that the doctor will never put in there. The doctor's likely going to write that this person bent over and picked up a box and hurt their back, which is a denial, right? But if you give them a bunch of detail and say, put this in your narrative, and you're so much closer to a accepted claim. And so some things you want to be thinking about, and you'll put this on your employee statement form that I've got on breakingowcp.com. You put your date of injury, like what date did I get hurt today? What's today's date? And then what date did I report? That's so important to you, because if you report within 7 days, you get a CA16. If you report within 30 days, you can have COP. If you report within 3 years, you can get medical help, okay? And so you're documenting date of injury, date of report. Very important, because then you can never have a supervisor say, well, you didn't report on time. Well, yeah, I did, and I documented it, and so that's really important. You're going to document where you were injured, okay? I'm not talking about I was injured at the post office. No, I was injured in the restroom at the post office, on the parking lot at the post office. I was injured in the mail room, at the clerk's desk, or if you're at another, like say you're in a hospital, I was injured on the 3rd floor. I was injured in an elevator. You're going to put exactly where you were specifically. If you're out on a route, you're going to put the streets, the street that you were on. I was on Main Street, or I was at the corner of Main and Division. And then at, what time? What time was I hurt? I was hurt at 4 p.m. Okay, well that's important, because when does your shift start? So now the doctor can say, well, this person was 8 hours into their shift. And so it can give a lot of detail that otherwise won't be there. You're going to write things like what you were lifting, what you were carrying, where you were walking, how many steps did you climb that day? Were you on stairs? Were you walking downstairs? How many miles did you walk? Did you get up and down out of your LLV? And if so, approximately how many times? And the package that you picked up, about how much did it weigh? And so if you put these details in a report, what did I hear? What did I feel? What did I see? What did I smell, if relevant, okay? Those things are all really important. Who did I call? Who saw? Who else was there? And if you put all this into a detailed employee statement, the doctor will have that and be able to put that into a narrative report. Your odds of getting a claim accepted, at least by the second time, go way up. And so that's the key. In my experience, nobody fills out employee statements. They fill out the CA1 form or CA2, And that's it. And they're like, well, I didn't know that I had to do more. Well, you don't have to do more. But if you don't, you're going to get a denied claim in most cases. But if you do, you have a fighting chance to win. And then you just need a doctor who's willing to take your statement and incorporate it into the narrative report. So employee statements are critically important. I want you all to go to breakingowcp.com and download your free copy. Okay, make as many copies as you want. Give it to as many people as you want. I want everyone to have it. That's why it's free. All right, so just go do it. And then in a second, we'll talk about CA-16s, and I have a form for that as well because too many people don't get it. But let me pause, and what questions do we have?
Okay, so Ron Jackson said, so why would they waste money to send us for a second opinion?
Well, they send you for second opinions, and hi, Ron. Thanks for being here again. They send to second opinions for situations like if someone's not getting better. They send to second opinions if someone's not back to work, or if they're at work, but then the doctor, for some reason, takes them back off of work. They get second opinions if a claims examiner thinks that treatment's gone too long, or if the doctor hasn't adequately described what's going on in a CA-20. There's a lot of reasons for a second opinion, but Ron, I'm glad you brought it up because people ask all the time, what do I do?
Yeah.
Do I have to go? You have to go. You cannot skip a second opinion doctor. But when you go to a second opinion, this is what nobody will do unless you know me, and then you will, because I'm going to tell you what. Before you go to your second opinion doctor, I want you to go to your physician, your treating doctor, and get your treating doctor to fill out a CA-20 form. Okay, this is like a substitute for a narrative. It explains your situation from start to finish. And I want you to take that to the second opinion doctor. Too many people show up empty-handed.
Yeah.
Or they expect that the doctor has the records and would read it. But most accounts from people that go to second opinion doctors, they say that the doctor barely even talked to me. I was there 5 minutes. He never even looked at me. He didn't touch me. And then he gave this report saying I can go back to work, and he didn't even ask me any questions. How does he know? Well, it's because, and whether they have records or not, they're not reading them. You know, OWCP is paying them to be the second opinion doctor. They get a flat rate. They make the same amount of money whether it takes 5 minutes or 50 minutes. And so knowing what I know, I can tell you that I'm sure some doctors are like, wow, I'd like to make that money in 5 minutes. So you got to make them take more time. So you take the CA-20, but do another thing. Have your doctor write a narrative report explaining your situation now. Imagine you're going to turn in a CA-7 form to be off of work, and you're going to have a CA-17 attached to it, a CA-20 attached to it, appointments attached to it, and a doctor's narrative explaining why you're off of work attached to it. If you do that, you're way better off. So that's what you take to a second opinion. Pretend you're turning in a CA-7 and take that stuff to the second opinion doctor.
Kelly, you said you're from Northern Kentucky. My claim was accepted, but still trying to get back pay from the date of injury. Give us a call tomorrow at 877-787-OWCP. Jennifer or Emmy will help you and walk you through that. It's pretty simple for that.
But what you're going to do is fill out a CA-7 and probably a 7A to go along with it. And this is for your LWOP time, your time away from work where you weren't getting paid. And you're going to have to document your time off the clock. So it's a lot of work, but it's worth it because you can get that paid.
Yeah. You know, a lot of you, there's some topics that a lot of you come on, and then some topics that have the amount we have right now.
Yeah, which is really sad. We're doing employee statements, which is definitely going to give you a 50% greater chance to get your claim accepted. And
yeah, don't. I mean, we're not saying, okay, even if you watch us on the replay, it's fine. But what we want you to make sure that you do is share and tell your friends, because it's little questions like this. You know, like, what do I do when I get paid? What do I fill out? Because we go through that, and we keep all the videos. You guys can scroll through. We label them on what they are, so it's all there. So, you know, we tell you to share, because even the everyday people know at least one federal employee, and that is your USPS folks.
Everyone's got somebody that delivers their mail.
Somebody delivers it. You guys are going in and out of the post offices all day long. And now that Christmas is going to be coming, we know what USPS goes through because we hear it from the local presidents, the state presidents. From October till probably like February, you guys are busting your butt. And a lot of injuries because all these packages. And so help them out, even if you're not a federal employee. Help out people that you do know that you could help. Even for AFGE, all the TSA workers, you see them, they're picking up packages and suitcases and stuff. So Social Security and the VA, help your friends and your neighbors and your family out.
Yeah,
Okay.
remember when it was you
Yeah.
and you didn't have any help. So
No.
don't let somebody else struggle.
All right. Cindy Allison said, hi there.
Hi.
This is a little off topic, but my supervisor that refused to authorize treatment for a reported injury showed on my denial letter as an MD.
Wait, your supervisor shouldn't have anything to do with this, so...
Yeah. All they have to do is fill out your CA1 and CA2.
And then get the hell out of the way.
Yeah.
They have no other responsibilities.
Any action I can take to correct his falsification.
Well, yeah, okay. First of all, if there are false statements made, you have remedies for that. You can, if it caused you to not get a claim accepted so you can't get help, that could be an OSHA situation. If he's making false statements, that's punishable by fines and imprisonment. So, and when you have my book, I have a whole section of the book on those laws because they're really important. We do see supervisors writing false statements, and there are laws specific to that where if you make a false statement in relation to an OWCP claim, you can be fined or imprisoned or both. And so, you want to talk to your union for sure because your union should be able to file grievances and labor board charges, which will probably lead to some punishment or some action against the supervisor that lied, because that's not okay.
Yeah. Jojo said, I have an old case that was denied. Last week I fell and fractured my table. I know how that feels. It happened to me. I have major back issues and my primary just wrote me off till December. My back problems are now all due to that fall years ago. I'm nervous about getting last week's claim accepted. Is there still hope?
Of course.
Of course there's hope.
As long as you report your injury within 3 years of the injury, there's always hope. I say this, and you're going to see it in my second book as well. I made sure I put this in there, that all legitimate, timely filed injuries should be accepted. And so that's what's so maddening to me, that you'll have a claim that was filed within 3 years, which is timely, and it won't be approved. And it's legit, like it actually happened at work, and it's not approved. So there is hope, but you have to do what we're telling you. You should come here every week or give us a call and let us help you. But we know how to get that sort of a situation approved. Too many people don't. Sadly, I think 1 out of 7 injured people has an accepted claim. 6 out of 7 don't. That's a serious problem. That's why you're here, and that's why you should get other people here. Because 6 out of 7 people who are hurt don't have an accepted claim. Yeah. Whereas with us, 9 out of 10 people has an accepted claim.
It's so funny because I had 2 Social Security folks message me this week. You guys have to let them know, especially if you're an AFGE and you're watching this, let your Social Security friends know. And for the everyday folks watching this, let the Social Security folks know about what we have going on, because when we did a training like 2 years ago, Social Security was like the biggest crowd there, and these ladies were awesome.
Yeah, they were pretty awesome.
Vicky said, how will retirement impact with work comp claim? My man is currently receiving medical and pay coverage for the time missed from work for medical treatments. However, he will be having shoulder surgery coming up sometime in the near future, but might be retiring prior to recovery.
That's okay. Like, as long as you get your claim reported, filed prior to retirement, you're good. What happens after retirement? Okay, you continue to get medical benefits because you have lifetime medical. Lifetime meaning it doesn't matter if you're retired, you just need to be alive. But you can't receive retirement benefits and OWCP pay at the same time, because OWCP pay is a substitute for clocking in. You're retired, so you're not clocking in anymore. So you can't have that, but you can continue to get medical bills covered for the life of this claim, as long as it takes.
Yeah, we know of an 89-year-old that had a claim in 84 or something like that, and he's still getting therapy today.
And I know people, like lots of people, that had, mostly due to surgeries that happen like after care, and so you need a post-op. I know people that have had like more than 100 physical therapy sessions.
Yeah, they have.
Like unbelievable amount of stuff that was deemed to be appropriate by the claims examiner in advance, because doctors have to get pre-authorization. And so if the claims examiner doesn't like it, they're always going to say no. So I know a lot of people where the claims examiner just kept saying yes. So it's never over until you give up. generally that's the way it works.
And try not to give up. And if you go to a Federal Injury Center's clinic and the doctors that Chris has trained, you will be okay.
Yeah.
It's a process, but trust me, you'll be so thankful.
Yeah.
All right, Carrie Yvonne said, does OWCP have a cutoff time for being on daily rolls? I work 20 hours a week and OWCP pays me the other 20. This has been going on since 2015.
Yeah, what you really have to worry about is your craft and your agency, because they're not all the same. Like we were at a roll carrier event where we were being told that after 2 years, and at this moment in time that I'm discussing, I didn't know this. Like this was at that time new to me. That, you know, at 2 years you can't even, like they can remove you. So that's really what you need to be concerned with, is will the agency let this continue?
Angela Lopez, she said, hello, USCIS and AFGE local vice president from Houston.
Hi.
My claim has been accepted and being paid by OWCP due to the great physician statements by Dr. Willis Pain Management.
I know Dr. Willis.
My own statement and your assistance and book. My doctor works with unions and I think is one of yours. Not positive though.
No.
In
But
Houston?
No, so I know Dr. Willis. We knew each other when I was in Dallas, and he referred to himself as the Michael Jordan of pain management doctors.
Wow.
He's about 6'3", real good-looking guy, drives a Ferrari.
Nice.
But he's real good at his job. He's super good.
So she said, questions. I'm being referred by my doctor to an orthopedic surgeon, so I'm planning on writing a statement again for the orthopedic, similar to the one I wrote for Dr. Willis. Is that something you would recommend?
Wait, read that again?
Here.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay, one moment.
Please hold.
I'm being referred. Okay, there. That's what I want to see.
Where she said
Yeah,
question.
yeah. So I'm planning on writing a statement again. Yeah, okay, so yes, I would recommend writing a statement for the orthopedic surgeon. I would also recommend taking Dr. Willis's original narrative with you as well, because it's definitely good. And then make sure your orthopedic surgeon has all that information.
All right. Mike Joseph, so we'll answer this one more question. We'll go on to the CA16.
Yeah.
Mike Joseph said, can you claim mileage for a new schedule award rating?
All right, so that's interesting. You have an accepted claim, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't get a schedule award. And you do have to drive someplace to get your schedule award. In some cases, you've got to fly there.
Yeah.
And the OWCP 957 is a travel reimbursement form. And so what you need is, especially if you're going to fly, then you're also probably going to need a hotel and maybe even Uber and a rental car and those things. If you call your claims examiner in advance, you can ask for prior authorization to cover that stuff.
Yeah.
So don't take a trip out of state or anything without calling the claims examiner first. With that said, you are entitled to up to 100 miles round trip of mileage to be reimbursed to you for an accepted claim for an approved service. Schedule award is definitely approved. So all you need to do is make sure that the doctor who's doing your schedule award pre-authorizes, again, prior authorization, the billing code that they're going to bill to Department of Labor to get paid to do that impairment rating. As long as it's pre-authorized, then you'll get paid. So the key is that the doctor gets it approved. They always do, but that's the procedure.
So Jojo said, so any doctor I see should get a copy of my statement.
Any doctor that you want to do a really great job on whatever it is you're doing should have really great information. They should know what's going on. It's funny. Some people will come to our offices and they'll bring, literally, somebody brought boxes, multiple boxes full of documents.
A whole trunk full.
And I never use names for obvious reasons, but a woman who I'm very fond of, very much, gave me 2 flash drives with a total of 1,100 documents on it.
Yes.
And look,
he went through all of it.
my point is, I went through everything to get what I needed. But if you just showed up with what I needed in advance, I would have been very, very grateful. So those statements would be something super important.
Okay, I'm going to answer Tom's.
Yeah, we'll do one more, then we'll get to CA16.
My claim for OWCP was approved at my then rate of pay. I since received a contractual raises, COLAs, and step increases. The USPS state that my salary is locked at the rate of time of injury.
Yeah, I've heard that. I'm not an expert at the agencies, but I know that's a fact. And so if you're out of work, I don't think you're going to get your raise until you go back to work, because you're off work due to a work injury that happened at the previous pay rate. Until you get back to work, I think you're going to be locked into that previous pay rate.
All right, so we're going to go over the CA-16 and how to get one and why it's so important. Now, we keep going over the CA-16 because a lot of you keep telling us you never heard of one, you didn't even know that you could
We still hear
one.
that. It's shocking to me.
And the supervisor's refusing to give you one only on a CA-1 claim. Remember that. So a lot of you will ask, can I get it on a CA-2? No. Okay, go ahead.
I'm actually glad you said that. The answer is no.
Right.
On CA2. All right, so let me just reiterate on the employee statement. Look, sometimes I say things that may be offensive to people. If that's you, I apologize. The employee statement topic is not a sexy statement, okay? Or it's not a sexy topic until you need it, okay? And when you need it, you'd be like, oh, what was that thing Chris said? So go get the form, all right? Don't show up to a doctor without the employee statement filled out. It's just too important. I mean, if you love denials and losing is a fun thing, then don't fill out an employee statement. That's super important. With that said, let's discuss CA-16s. The issue with the CA-16 is if you have a CA-1 claim, an injury that happened in a single shift,
only,
and you report within 7 days, like on that employee statement, you have the date reported as less than 7 days after the date of injury. It should be the same day. Don't report tomorrow, report today. The CA-10 form says report as soon as possible. Well, today is as soon as possible, so do that. But when you do that and you report within 7 days, you're eligible for this form called a CA-16. The 16 pays your medical bills for 60 days or until your claim's accepted, okay? Whichever comes first. If your claim is approved in day 40, then the CA-16 is void, right? But if it's not, like so many people, because what did I say? 1 out of 7 injured people have accepted claims. That means 6 out of 7 of you need a CA-16 bad because your claim's not approved. So even if it doesn't get approved and you have a CA-16, your medical bills for that 60-day period, you never have to pay them back, even if your claim never gets approved. You never pay it back. It's free health care for an injury that you didn't plan on getting in the first place. But what happens is people don't get it. A, they don't know about a form CA-16. B, they won't ask their supervisor about it if they do know about it. Or C, the supervisor will either not give them the form, they say, I don't have to give it to you, or give them a blank form, not even filled out, which is as good as a paper wad and you can use it in your trash can. It's worthless if it's not filled out and signed.
Yep.
So you got to get a CA-16 form signed by the supervisor, by HR, by injury comp, by somebody in charge. Okay, somebody's got to put their signature on the form. And then you take that to your doctor, and your doctor uses that to get paid. Now, if you don't take that to your doctor, okay, your doctor, if they're not a Federal Injury Center's doctor, is going to ask you for your health insurance. And it's a work injury. What the heck does that have to do with your health insurance? But they're going to ask you for it, and you're going to give it to them because you don't have a choice.
Unfortunately.
And they're going to say, okay, you have a $35 copay. And you're going to pay it because you don't have a choice. And God forbid you need surgery. The doctor's going to say, no problem, but you have a $2,500 deductible. And you don't have a choice but to pay it. But guess what? You didn't know you were going to blow your knee out that day. Or that you were going to bend over and blow out a disc. And you didn't know you were going to need emergency surgery. And so now you've got this $2,500 deductible. You've got a couple of $40 copays. You're looking at about $2,600 of bills, and you just woke up to go to work that day. You probably didn't even eat. You probably didn't even have a cup of coffee before you got to work. You got to work, you got hurt, and now you owe $2,600 on a surgery you didn't know you're going to have. And that's a common thing. People don't get this form, and so they go into debt trying to get better. So what else happens? They say, okay, I can't afford to get better, so they don't. They start making financial decisions on their health. And so they don't get better. Now their choice is eventually work through the pain or, retire on disability, which sucks because disability retirement, you get 60% of your income in year 1 and 40% every year thereafter until retirement. I can't see, but raise your hand if right now you could live off 40%. Because if you could, then this is for you, okay? But this is why I hate disability. But if you don't get a CA-16, this is where you end up. You end up in a place where you're making healthcare decisions based on money. But when you have a CA-16, you make healthcare decisions based on healthcare. You say, Doc, what do I need? And then you do it because it's all covered. But you don't get these forms, and your supervisors act like they don't have to. But if you get my book, Breaking OWCP, there's a nice chapter on CA-16s, and then there's another chapter on law, okay? And it gives you the ammunition that you need to have your supervisor stop screwing with you. Because nobody wants to get in trouble for breaking the law, all right? And the law says they owe you that within 4 hours of the injury. Not just like they may give it to you or they don't want to give it to you. They are required. The law says they shall give it to you in 4 hours. Shall.
Not 4 hours and 1 minute.
Shall means you must do it. It's mandatory. It's not optional. They have to do it, but they don't think they have to. And you, I'm talking to you if this is you, and if it's not, then good. But you back down. You say, fine, okay, you're the boss. I don't have, okay, you told me that. Hell no, fight back. So go back to breakingowcp.com to the free downloads tab, and I have a form for getting a CA-16 there. What you're doing is you're going to write the supervisor's name that you requested it from, the date and time you requested it, indicating that it was within the 7-day period, and you're also going to write what time you received it, because they have 4 hours to give it to you. So if you requested it at noon, you better have it by 4, because that's the law.
Yeah.
And we're going to give a copy of that to the supervisor so they know the law, because guess what's written at the bottom of the page? The law. From the Code of Federal Regulations, word for word. And so now the supervisor's on notice. They have to do it. It says they shall give it to you when you report within 7 days, and they have 4 hours to give it to you. So if you'll use this form and give it to the supervisor, they really can't. They can't deny you. But what you can do, if you give it to the supervisor and they refuse, is now take it to your union and file a grievance. And I don't know if you can file an EEO claim, but to me, it sounds like you're not being treated fairly after you're hurt if you don't get this form, because you're unable to pay for your medical bills.
Just talk to your union.
Yeah.
And take your steward with you guys every time you guys get an injury. Take a steward. They know. And
the stewards that we know that we're friends with are incredibly powerful.
They are.
We had one in Alabama, in Birmingham.
They're awesome out there.
Who called us one day and had heard me teach live, because I was doing that pre-COVID. And she said, didn't you say the following stuff? And I said, yeah. And I said, if this happens, call OSHA. And so she did, because the supervisor said, that's right, the supervisor said to the injured employee, your best option right now is to resign.
Yes, I remember that one there.
And so this union steward, her name is Passion. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She calls up, and she had heard me teach this a couple of times, and she was furious, as she should be, as a powerful steward. For the clerks, by the way, the APW. She was incredible. And so this was reported to OSHA and some things, and some penalties were brought down on the postmaster and the supervisor as a result. And that doesn't happen anymore in that office.
Yeah.
So, you got to use the law as your ammunition, okay? And so go get that form at breakingowcp.com. Get the form for how to get a CA-16. These forms are not official forms. These were written by me, created by me, because you have this problem. At the bottom of the form, it says not an official OWCP form. But you're smart people. You understand it, and you also understand how valuable this is for you. It's free to you, and if you don't get it, then that means maybe you just like paying medical bills.
Yeah.
This will help you not pay medical bills. And then the employee statement form will help you get a claim accepted. And so that's like the whole ball game. Let's get the claim accepted and not have medical bills.
But and I wanted to bring this up because we keep telling you don't have to pay out of your pocket. There's a lot of companies that kind of do what we do, and they take upfront money, like $1,500 upfront.
Or $25.
Yeah. And then they start debiting your account $150, because we know some people actually, and for 3 years, they're taking $150 out every month for 3 years, and the claim is still not accepted.
So let's do this tonight. Let's all take a vow. What's the word when you all decide to do something together? We're all handshaking tonight, all right? Forget COVID, we're all handshaking. We're going to agree on something. If you or somebody you know comes across anybody who says, I'll help you get your claim accepted for any amount of money out of your pocket, give me the money and I'll help you. Don't do it. Call me instead. I'll do it for free. Now, my goal is to put those people out of business. Plain and simple. If someone takes your money to get your claim accepted, I'd like to shut them down. So anybody that says, hey, $2,500 and I'll get your claim accepted. No, they won't, because they want the money to keep coming. As soon as the claim's accepted, why do you have to keep paying them? You only pay them because you have a problem. Well, what if you don't have a problem? What if we can write an employee statement and get a claim accepted? Okay. What if you have a CA-16 and you're not worried about money? You know, what if you can talk to me or Gini or Tom or Jennifer for free and we get your claim accepted, even if you're in Iowa and I don't have an office there?
And Emmy.
Yeah, and Emmy. So we don't want you paying money out of your pocket. I'm happy to sit on the phone with you and get this done. Okay, I'm writing books so you don't have to do this anymore. Get the books. But whatever you do, look, buy a $15 book. Don't spend $2,500 to get a claim accepted.
Yeah.
But if you find somebody like that and they want to take your money to get your claim accepted, stop, hang up the phone, and call me. Because I'll never charge you. We don't charge anybody. Nobody's ever spent a penny with us, ever. If we do a bad job, we don't get paid, and that's how it should be. And that's how it should be for everybody. Nobody gets paid if they do a bad job. But these people that are taking money out of your pocket are doing a bad job and getting paid. It's backwards. So don't do that to yourself. Let's put them out of business.
All right, let's answer.
Oh, and if any of them are watching right now, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
I don't care. Like that's very insulting that they charge $2,500 to not get a claim accepted. That's insulting. It's insulting to me because I do it for free.
All right, Kelly Borrell said a coworker was lifting a door during the power outage. Door went up, came down, and came off the track, hitting her in her head. Treated for a concussion, has not been approved yet, but is now having vision problems. Can she see an eye doctor, and should she talk to a lawyer? How long is usually the approval time?
Okay, you don't need a lawyer yet, and one of my close friends is the lawyer you would call. You don't need him. What you need is a doctor who will take on your claim and write a narrative to get it accepted. This woman I was talking about earlier, who I read 1,100 pages of documentation, had a head injury that caused ear problems where she couldn't hear anymore. And nobody could figure it out. Like, after 1,100 pages, I figured it out. But your doctor probably won't have to read 1,100 pages to know that you got hit in the head and now there's vision problems. So I don't know if you need an eye doctor, because I'm not a doctor. I know you need somebody that understands OWCP, and you got to do that.
Yeah.
Most of the time, a trained federal workers' comp doctor can make referrals to the appropriate doctors, and they get your claim accepted. That's what you got to do. But you know, you've easily got a case. Like I said earlier, all timely filed, which is within 3 years, legitimate claims should be approved, and nobody with a head injury should have to suffer vision problems and not have that covered. If it's not accepted yet, call us and we'll help you for free.
Renee, this is a long one. She said, hi, I'm new to the group.
Hi.
Welcome.
Tell your friends.
I have an old case from 2012, and I was never given an impairment rating at the time. No one told me about impairment ratings. But now I have arthritis really bad in my finger joints and my hands, wrist, and having carpal tunnel surgery, and now the carpal tunnel is back. What can I do?
So a few things are going on here. If your claim's accepted, and I'm assuming that it is, you have lifetime medical. So if you need more treatment, go back to your doctor and let the doctor pre-authorize it. If your claim is closed, we'll do a CA2A for reoccurrence and get it reopened. But you're never just sitting around going, wow, I've developed some more problems and I don't know what to do. Go to the doctor. It's still covered. As far as getting a schedule award, as Eric Blowers, the lawyer, would say, you're eligible for the schedule award as long as you're still alive.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter if you wait 10 years from now, 20, 30, 40 years from now. You can be one day away from death. You can get your schedule award today and tomorrow die. Don't do that. Just, you're never out of it, okay? So as long as you're alive, you can get a schedule award. But as long as you need help, you can get medical attention as well.
All right, she still has more stuff.
Perfect.
And also, and this is still Renee, and also I have another question right now. I am out because I had both shoulders redone and recently had 3 levels of ADR done, but after having an MR on my back that I've had problems with for years now, but just going to a chiropractor, I found out that I had several herniated discs and bulging and degenerative disc disease, and they said that I was born with an abnormality in my lower spine and that my hips are both bone on bone. How far back can I date this when filing my claim?
All right, so here's the deal. It sounds like a CA2 claim. It sounds like something that developed over time. And just by the way, what you were born with is irrelevant, because anything you start a federal job with that was pre-existing, like it was already there, but the job exacerbates it. It worsens it. It accelerates it. It's covered. Okay? Like, I've got a little scoliosis, right? I've had it my whole life. And I was diagnosed with it in elementary school. I know I have it right now. If I went today as a 45-year-old and decided to be a letter carrier, carrying 70 pounds and 10 miles a day, and my back started hurting, it wouldn't matter. I was born with it. It's covered. You're covered. But if you've not had it approved yet, you haven't reported it yet, here's your time frame. You have 3 years from the... Now listen, this goes to everybody. Here, listen. Listen to what I didn't say and what I am saying. You have 3 years to report from the date... Listen... from the date you knew it was work-related. So, if you knew it was work-related 4 years ago, then you can't report your injury today. But, if you just realized, I think this is work-related. You woke up today, you're like, oh, eureka, this is work-related. You have 3 years from today to report your injury. Because it's like box 12 and 13 or 13 and 14. One's on the right side, one's on the left side. One says, date you first knew this was happening, and the one is date you knew it was work-related. And so your date you knew it was work-related has to be 3 years from the date you report. As long as it is that, then you're eligible to have it covered, because now it's timely filed and it's legitimate.
Okay. Kelly Morales said, our union stewards use the time clock and date stamps whatever she is submitting. I think she's just letting you know.
No, I mean, that sounds legit, unless the date stamp is wrong. I would just check it.
Cynthia Hudgens said, if a claim is denied, does COP have to be repaid?
Yeah, hey, thanks. That's a great question. And that's a serious problem. I'm writing about this in Volume 2. I have a chapter on COP, and this will be in there. But here's the situation. As long as you report your injury, your CA1 injury, within 30 days, then you're eligible for up to 45 calendar days of COP, continuation of pay. That's not 45 consecutive days. It's not like it's over in 6 weeks. It's over when you use 45 days at any period of time, or when your claim's accepted, because when the claim's accepted, there's no more COP. I just got this weird head rush, and I lost my train of thought.
Go back and rewind.
Something about COP, 30 days, you get 45 days of COP. Well, read the question again. Sorry, I'm like, for whatever reason, starting to feel dizzy. I'm on this really weird low-calorie diet, which is stupid. Never do this.
My claim is denied. Does COP have to be repaid?
Oh, thanks. All right. So, let's say you use all 45 days, okay? Because you met the criteria, you reported on time, and then your claim's denied. Here's what they're going to do. Your agency, the post office does this all the time. They're going to send you a letter saying, your claim's denied, you owe us 45 days of COP. So, whatever you get paid per day, let's take somebody that makes $40,000 a year. That's $20 an hour. They're making $160 a day, and you do 45 of those. Usually, we don't have the money to pay that back because we spent it. So what you have to do is show that you've appealed it, that it's under reconsideration, that it's not over. Just because it was denied, it's not over, because you have an unlimited number of reconsiderations you can do. So they can make you pay it back if ultimately it's denied. But I've never had a single person since 2007 pay back COP.
Yeah.
Because we eventually get it approved.
Okay, this one's going to make you upset. Tressa Hartwell. My supervisor physically assaulted me, which turned into a physical fight. I was injured by her assaulting, but we are now on suspension. Can I still fill out a CA1?
Absolutely.
I'm already an injured employee to begin. That's another thing.
So the situation is this. There's a question that says, was the injury due to willful misconduct? So my question would be, did you start the fight? There's another question that says, was this due to an intent to injure yourself or another? If you started the fight, it could be said that you intended to injure someone. If the other person, the supervisor, started the fight, then you're going to get your claim accepted. Bottom line. But seriously, that's a big deal. Don't start fights with anybody. ever. Definitely not at work. But as long as it's not intent to injure yourself or another, or due to willful misconduct, it'll be approved. Approved. Not improved. Approved.
Sure.
Finally, I just, this whole time I've been like seeing, like, remember the old TV shows where everything's like going like this?
No, you're that old.
It's like freaking Twilight Zone in my head.
We're only like
It's
6
so
months
weird.
apart, but he's that old. Shirley Hicks said, Jennifer's a lot of help and a sweetheart. Oh, that's
She's
really
incredible.
nice.
Let me tell you something. When I met Jennifer, she's from California. She moved to Texas. And when I met her, I spent my entire evening talking to her because I was just intrigued by her background. She already like ran a business before, and she was really smart. And I said, hey, if you ever move here, look me up, and I'm going to hire you, because I was managing the largest DOL practice in the world. So, what was? It's the biggest in the country, which makes it the biggest in the world.
Not anymore.
So she came and moved here eventually, actually, and she called me up, and I said, perfect, I got a job for you. We didn't have anything, right? But she's one of those people you hire. She learned OWCP before I did. How about that?
So yeah, when we tell you, call us, we'll answer your question. It's more than likely going to be Jennifer or Emmy, unless they say they need some more help.
Yep.
So always remember, Emmy or Jennifer will call you and get your stuff taken care of.
But just the other day, somebody said, I don't want to talk to Jennifer, I want to talk to Gini. Okay, so let me just say this, and my wife knows I was going to say this, I'm not going to get in trouble. She doesn't know everything Jennifer knows.
Not like Jennifer.
She's not an expert the way Jennifer is. Almost nobody is. Jennifer is a person where if Tom and I get stumped, we call her. We never get stumped, but if I did, I would call her. So if you get an opportunity to speak with her, take it, because her time is limited. Take it. It's a gift.
All right, Ms. B.K. Harvey said, can you still get medical treatment after retirement? A reoccurrence of the injury that was approved.
I don't know how you're going to get a reoccurrence when you're retired, because you didn't do any work that made it recur, but you do by law have medical lifetime medical benefits, and so your doctor's going to have to write a beautiful narrative to get that, to get the treatment restarted, and they have to just pre-authorize care.
All right, Jojo, listen to Chris's answer on this one. The CA-16 I did get is an old form. Should I request a newer form from my postmaster for the specialist I'm seeing next month?
I'm not, okay, so that's funny. What they did with the CA-16 is it used to be online. You could go to the OWCP forms page and print one. And then later on what they did is it was listed there, but you couldn't click on it, so you couldn't print it. And then, so I went through and found, thank you, APWU. They had a PDF on their website, so I took it and downloaded it, and it's on my website now at federalinjurycenters.com. Yeah, I got a couple of websites. This one and federalinjurycenters.com. If you go there and click on OWCP forms, you can get everything you want, including a CA-16. But I think the form I have was last revised in 1998 or 9, which, by the way, doesn't matter because the last revision of the CA-10 was 1987. So that's not unusual. But if it's been revised, you need a new copy. Okay, bottom line, you got to have the most updated copy. But your supervisors should have that. There's no excuse. Remember, they have to give it to you within 4 hours of the request. I don't know where to find it is not an excuse because that's not in the law. The Code of Federal Regulations says they have to give it to you. They shall. They have to give it to you within 4 hours. And it doesn't say, letter C does not say unless you can't find it.
Also,
so make them do it.
Yeah, don't forget we have the app. So those of you that can't get to a computer, go to the app. All the forms are there, and some of the laws too.
Yeah, download the app at your Play Store or your App Store. It's just you search Federal Injury Centers.
Yeah, if you can't get online to
all the forms
Wi-Fi,
are there.
it's all the same as our website.
Yeah.
Denise Wagler said, "Love you guys."
Hey, we love you too.
We love you too.
We love you more.
Cynthia Hudgens said, on the appeal, there are 3 options. Which should I take?
Reconsideration. Ignore the rest.
Always.
Let me tell you why. I'm happy you asked the question. Reconsideration gives you 12 months from the date of denial to appeal. Nothing else gives you that kind of time frame. Reconsideration also requires you to submit new information. And so when you take your denial letter to the doctor and say, hey, doc, look, this paragraph says specifically your claim was denied because, your doctor can write a new narrative explaining why that denial was false or incorrect, whatever, refuting the denial. And that new narrative is new information. So you have 12 months to submit that new narrative to DOL and get a claim accepted. We get people all the time that come to us with multiple denials. Like they've been to some other doctor, some joker who didn't know how to write more than one page, and the claim kept getting denied, and they couldn't figure it out. And I looked it out. I find one paragraph. I said, boom, here's why. And this is interesting. True statement, true story. The very first claim I ever got approved when we started Federal Injury Centers was a guy named Jeremy in Miami with a knee injury that had previously 2 denied claims, and our doctor got it approved on his first try. So you can always go back, but you need that reconsideration because it gives you a 12-month window from every denial. And every time you get a denial, you have another 12 months. There's no cap on that. It's not like, well, if you do 3 of these, you're done. It's infinite. You can have as many reconsiderations as it takes, as long as you get new information. And every time a doctor submits a new narrative, that's new information.
Yeah, so
the rest of those options suck. Don't use them.
I know Jennifer and Emmy, you guys are on here. Can you guys put your numbers down so everyone can contact you guys?
But you can always just call an 877 number.
And you'll get Jennifer or Emmy.
Yeah.
Cynthia, call Jennifer or Emmy tomorrow, and they can help you and go over the 3 options like Chris was talking about more in depth. And Joe Bach, you said you hate to keep asking. We are coming to New York. We are pretty soon. We're going to be.
We have a doctor committed to 3 of the 5 boroughs, so just hang in there. In the next 12 months, like we're not talking about years and years down the line, months down the line, we'll have an office in 3 of the 5 boroughs, and my goal is to have one in all 5.
Yeah.
And in northern New York, like Buffalo, obviously more than just there, but.
Don Powell said, "Are lawyers recommended for disability medical retirement?"
Okay, I don't know if they're recommended.
But they can help.
But there's nothing in the rules that says you must have a lawyer. Yeah. But what I know, based on speaking, and not even talking with Eric, talking with another lawyer from Texas, this guy said that roughly 40% of disability claims are denied the first time, even with the very best medical information. And at the point, he said, at the point that you get a denial, that's pretty much when you need a lawyer. Because now they need to fight for you because there's money. Like, this is a lot of money for you. 60% of your income in year 1, 40% every year thereafter, or 0 if you're denied. So it's a big deal. If you do need that, Eric can help you with that, and we can give you the information to get to Eric Blowers.
Yeah. And Tressa, with this whole issue with your supervisor, please give us a call tomorrow so Emmy or Jennifer or myself, we could go in depth and detail with you. And
I'd love to help you hammer your supervisor. That'd be great. Like, my hammer's so big. We'd like to use it.
We need a doctor in Michigan. We're coming.
So, many of you, for the rest of this time, after hearing we need a doctor here and we need a doctor there, are going to say, are you going to be coming to, and fill in the blank. Like, are you going to come to California? You're going to come to Iowa and Idaho and whatever. The answer to all of you will be yes. That's the idea. The Federal Injury Centers is a franchise, and we recruit doctors nationwide, and we're working on that.
Cynthia, don't lose sleep over your denial.
Nah,
we understand.
Denials are super
you guys
common.
Have a lot of.
So remember the statistics: 1 out of 7 injured people have an accepted claim. 6 out of 7 have a denied claim. But almost 100%, 96, 95, 97% of people that come to us, regardless, end up with their claim approved, which means there's always hope. You may not get to us, but if you fill out your own employee statement, you take it to the doctor has a really great chance of getting your claim approved because now they've got the detail they need to get your claim approved.
What's the other 888 number?
It's 8888. I don't know. Just call. That one's fine. That number's fine. Don't even worry about the other one. We have 2 800 type numbers, and I always forget the other one.
I know you guys are having an issue right now. We're gonna be ending with 2 more questions. I know you guys are having an issue with the PDF download. Laura, I saw.
Oh, I want to talk about that.
I'm going to have Chris send you that PDF as soon as we get off.
I'll email it to you.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to email it to you, and I'm really sorry this happened. But here's the deal: I have this website, and my webmaster is a friend of mine, so I'll have him fix this. But when you order the PDF download, you click on it. You put in your credit card information, you pay for it, and then it goes to another screen. You're like, where's my download? Okay. But if you just go down a little farther, there's a button that says you have to click on, and then you get your form. A lot of people forget to click on that button, and then they leave the page, and it's too late. Don't worry. I'm going to email it to you. No problem.
We'll do that right
after I need your email
this.
Address, so be sure you send your email address to Gini, and you can just send it
by... It's on there with the book. It's on there.
Okay, make sure you send it through Facebook Messenger anyways. So I can't, because if anybody can screw this up, I can. If you'll give me your email address, I'll send it to you. No problem.
Everyone's saying thanks for signing the book. They got the book.
And those of you that have requested me to autograph the book, I want everyone else to know that's new here that I'm not famous. But I'll sign your book.
He's not famous.
I mean, I'm famous to her,
No,
obviously.
he's not even famous
No, I
to
am.
me.
I am. You should see it every morning when she wakes up. She's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm seeing you again." It
He
happens.
wishes. I think he had that dream last night. Sorry. All right, you guys are going to call tomorrow. We're going to take care of that PDF. The phone number again is 877-787-OWCP. Tana said there's no doctors in Las Vegas. We are
know,
desperate.
but guess where one of my favorite places in the world to go is? Las Vegas. In fact, my buddy Brian from Texas is here tonight. And
we have a live audience.
yeah, me and Brian were in Las Vegas one time. And
Come say hi.
we were, well, let me tell the story. This is a really funny story. So Brian and I were in Las Vegas for work. It was a convention for me, and he was tagging along because I was there, and I was like, dude, come. And so after the convention, we were back in the Las Vegas airport and having a few more drinks. I played a few slot machines in the airport because they have them there. They shouldn't do that to me because obviously I'm going to play. And but then over the loudspeaker in the airport, they said, Brian Neal and Chris Helms, like we had a final call. We were the last two people on the airplane.
Oh my God.
Before the airplane left.
I totally see that.
They didn't close the doors yet.
Oh, brother.
So we made it. And it's a good thing because we're both kind of loud.
I'd be very
And
angry.
somehow there was a break in the action long enough for us to hear the intercom. And then I was like, buddy, they just called your name. No, they called your name too. And so we were supposed to go on an airplane. They want us to go home. It was crazy. So we'd love to have an office in Las Vegas.
Okay, so we're going to end it here for tonight because we have a meeting to get to again. We are. I don't know why we schedule our meetings on Wednesdays. Any doctors in California? No.
Not yet, but we're working on it.
So with that said, I know a lot of you saw my post. If you guys are regular Joe Schmo and Jill Schmo,
There's no such thing as regulars in this show.
not federal employees, or if you are a federal employee, remember I posted you can get a commission and up to $15,000 commission if you give us a doctor
Who signs
who signs up being with us for Federal Injury Centers Clinic. Remember, Christmas is coming. I like candles, so send to me candles and gift cards. So
I want to say this. Oh, go ahead. You have more stuff.
with that said, if you guys have any doctors that are really interested, give them the basics. Tell them to watch us, and then I will personally give that person that needs my cell phone number to the person that's asking, so the doctor can call, or you can have them email me at Gini@federalinjurycenters.com because we're getting a few of them now.
Gini.
Gini
It's not like I dream of Genie.
at federalinjurycenters.com. So remember, you could get up to $15,000 in commission if the doctor closes and becomes a part of our franchise.
And that's no joke. We don't play around with this. I love writing those checks.
Okay.
So we have 3 new franchisees. We have one in McKinney, Texas, which is north central Texas. It's about 25 minutes north of Dallas. And on El Dorado Parkway, it's a beautiful office. We have one in Memphis, Tennessee, the one whose first claim got accepted. Same for McKinney. Their first claims got accepted too. This is what we do. And we just got a brand new one who signed up this week in South Dallas in Oak Cliff, Texas, which is basically Dallas. And we're really excited. Last time we were in Texas, actually,
That's what we were doing.
We went by the McKinney office and saw it. That was my first time to actually see it in person, and I was really impressed. And Dr. Clark in that office was incredible. We're going to have her on one night as a guest here live. You're all going to really love her.
Yeah, we're going to have a few of the doctors.
And you know why you're going to love her? Because she loves you. I don't think
she does.
I'm not sure if she loves you as much as I do, but she comes really close. So I was super excited about that. But our doctors in Oak Cliff reminded me a lot of our doctors in Florida, and they have a very clear passion and love for patients, which is number one for me. Like, if you love the patients and you have a great office, a great location, then you qualify. And so they do, and we're really excited. They just came on board with us. They're starting the credentialing process right now. We'll begin the training in a week or two, and they'll be off and running. So That's what we do. Our job is to bring doctors to you so that you stop having to deny claims. There will be doctors coming to all areas of the country. We have a convention coming up in November where there are 3,000 attendees on the list from all around the country.
So we're going to try to recruit some doctors there and see if they want to
Yeah.
help you guys. It's all about getting you guys the help. And no, we don't have a location in Ohio yet. And yes, you can get treatment out of state.
Yeah, you can definitely leave the state, and you should if you need it. So, look, we're really excited to be helping you. I'm super happy that you're here tonight. I'd really humbly ask you to go to breakingowcp.com, breakingowcp.com. Get all the free download forms. Just get them all. I hope you never need any of them. But if you do, don't wait till it's too late. Get the book. I hope you never need it, but read it. And then get one for a friend. Tell a friend to get the book. The point is, if you wait, I say this all the time. I think I'm going to put this line in the next book, by the way, in volume 2. If you wait until you need it, it's too late.
Yeah.
You need the information now, not then. So many of you are on tonight. We're really glad you're starting to get some information, but this is a small fraction of the amount of information that you need to know. This is an overwhelming system. Federal workers' comp is designed to frustrate you. It's designed to defeat you. And I don't lose. So if you get the book, and then later on, look out for the second book. If you follow us here, if you go to Twitter @Fed Injury Center, if you'll go to my website, breakingowcp.com, and get all the free downloads, and just stay up with this information, then you'll have power. Because it's kind of cliche, but knowledge is power. And the knowledge that I'm bringing you is knowledge you can't find someplace else. The unions are wonderful. We love them. They all have OWCP reps who do a decent job teaching. Not like this.
Yeah.
So thanks for being here. And definitely go get the book. It's very disappointing. Just by the way, look, I'm going to be honest with you. We've had almost 24 plus 12, 36 hours since yesterday when I posted a video saying go get these free forms, and they're free. Free, F-R-E-E. And only one person got the form. Look, somebody is going to call me and say, my claim is denied, and I'm going to ask about an employee statement, and they're going to say, well, what's that?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
I'm
So
trying to
get
help
those.
you here. If you can avoid a denied claim, you can avoid that 40% of your salary disability later on. This is a super big deal. It's really important.
Gloria, we are in Clearwater, Florida. We don't have anything in Fort Myers right now.
And that's how it goes, but we're working on it.
We're working on that, but
Fort Myers is only a beautiful 2-hour drive north.
no, hour and 27 minutes. Just saying.
I drive a Jeep. It doesn't do 70.
So
It takes 2 hours.
We hope you guys enjoyed the topics tonight. If you guys have any certain topics you guys want us to educate on, please feel free to message either one of us, and we'll be on again next week with another couple topics.
So we're here every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. Mountain time screws me up. Whatever time that is. So
He's going all over the place.
but we're at all the time zones.
Yeah, we are.
And if you're in Hawaii and Alaska and you're like 6 or 8 hours behind, we're
that
still here
much?
for you too. Yeah. On your lunch break,
We do have
tune
people
in.
from Hawaii and Alaska and Puerto Rico now
Yeah.
that watch us.
Yeah,
So
welcome.
You guys consider PayPal as an additional form of payment for your book. That's a really good idea, Dee. We will look into that and talk to our guy.
Here's the beautiful thing. I know how to use the internet, but I don't create websites. But my buddy makes a really nice
We'll
website.
talk to
I'll
our
tell him.
website guy, Andy, tomorrow
I'll
about
let him
that.
know. If that's what people want, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, we forgot to put that.
Happy to do it.
So with that said, everyone, have a great Wednesday night. Don't forget to share, like, and follow, and watch us every week.
Yeah.
Invite your coworkers, and we will see you guys next Wednesday.
Invite your friends too, because not all your coworkers are friends. Invite them as well.
See,
and-
he always takes the show away. Like, lately he's been doing this.
And invite your coworkers who are your friends, because I'm hoping you are the cool enough person you got at least one friend at work.
With that said, everyone.
Tell that friend.
Shh. Good night, everyone. See you next week.